Hello and welcome back. I was asked a really interesting question very recently about London. Does living in a city like London with the pollution bother me in terms of my health? Am I concerned? I'm going to share with you in this video why I am not bothered by pollution in London, why I don't think you need to be either, but also a lot of the benefits of spending time in nature versus being in the hustle and bustle of the city. Stay until the end, definitely, because I have one really fascinating technique I picked up from a friend, firstly, and then a specialist, which essentially helps you avoid kind of breathing in too many toxic fumes wherever you are. So definitely don't sign off too soon. So let's get to the crux of it. Does pollution in London bother me? No. No, it doesn't. And the reason being, I am London born and bred. So I was born here. I lived here for the first 10 years of my life. I have spent time living in the most rural parts of the UK you can ever imagine. We're talking literally within a little hamlet with a few houses. I've lived in other cities, I've lived abroad, and I found myself back in London. And what I'm going to say is, London is my happy place, what I call my happy place. It's where I feel at home, it's where I feel my heart has called me back to, and I am centered here. The reason why that for me is a draw to stay and is more important than worrying about potential toxic fumes that I am possibly breathing in from traffic. And it's actually not just pollution from exhaust and fumes, but obviously there's noise pollution, there's light pollution as well. The reason that doesn't affect me and my health and my healing is because, in terms of epigenetics, which is the idea that genes within cells respond to their external environment. So those are factors that we can narrow down to diet, lifestyle, and environment. That is a really, really important part of health. So I'm not denying that there is an element of, my screen keeps going black, which is why I'm here on the mouse. That is a huge part of health. What a lot of people don't realize is that actually, again, genes within cells are far more sensitive and read closer to your internal environment. And if you've never heard me speak about this before, internal environment is made up generally of the thoughts that go around your head, or the thoughts that go around my head in my instance, the emotions that those create as a result, and the beliefs that those push me into. So basically, everything intangible about myself and about the world around me that I'm thinking and that I'm processing, my genes, my cells, my DNA is being affected by those three things. I'm going to say more closely than my external environment. Again, it doesn't mean that things like, what do we talk about with environment health? We do talk about pollution, we talk about toxins in the home, people around you, cleaning products, plastics, environmental toxins, neuroendocrine disruptors. Those are all massively important. But what I've learned from my journey is there is no bigger change I can make to my health than the one that starts inside of me. And so the reason that pollution doesn't bother me and hasn't stopped my healing so far is because my heart tells me I'm living in the right place. And the thoughts I think, the emotions I feel, and the beliefs I have are aligned with that centeredness and that groundedness. And that is what keeps me healthy. As I say, It is not to undo potential harm that can be caused by everything that I've just mentioned: light pollution, noise pollution, smog. I'm also not a fan of the idea of them building another runway at Heathrow. I am not that far away. So, again, those factors do come across my mind. Do I let myself worry about them? No, is the bottom answer. So, one thing I promised you was to share something which has really, really helped me in terms of my general health, but also making sure that I am breathing in the best quality air possible. It's called nasal breathing. So, we are designed not to breathe through our mouths, but to breathe through our noses. I have consulted a very highly qualified dentist friend, specialist orthodontics, and also read a fantastic book by James Nestor called Breath. And it basically explains or states that most of the diseases we have nowadays can in some way be linked to the quality of the air we're breathing in, and the fact that that is coming predominantly through our mouth rather than through our nose. So, my tip to you is, if you are concerned or worried about the quality of the air that you're breathing in terms of the impact on your general health and possibly on MEN1 as well, the best thing you can do is become aware of how you're breathing and start to breathe through your nose as much as possible. Some of the techniques and practices that have helped me: meditation, really important, and that's a lot of deep breathing in and out through the nose. The same with my yoga practice. I also began to start sleeping with my mouth taped shut. And that is a very, very easy way to pick up nasal breathing overnight. It then actually trains the body and the mouth to stay closed more often. So it's a really helpful tip that came firstly through my friend and secondly through this book, James Nestor. And I'll pop it in the comments below in case you want to read it. So, in sum, no, pollution's never got in the way of my healing. And the reason why is because I am so connected to my internal self than I ever have been. My thoughts, my beliefs, and my emotional home are so happy in London that that has more of an intrinsic effect on my health and my healing than it does to be moving out to the countryside to be breathing better air. And it's kind of logical because you can go out to the countryside, but also take all your problems with you. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you've got any questions, pop them below. If you're not already signed up for my email updates, I highly recommend that you check out the link. So, what I share on here on YouTube is kind of like a snapshot of what I can put in my emails. And I just want to give you as much as I possibly can, which is very difficult because I've been on this journey now for 5 years and there is so much at the back of my brain that I want to tell you. But just by signing up for those email updates, you become part of my close community. You get an email once a week with 3 headline topics, specifically around MEN1 healing. And you also are the first to know about any free events that I run. Also, when my podcasts go live, you are notified immediately, so you're the first to listen to the episode. Drop a comment below, say hi, reach out anytime, and remember, if you can, breathe through your mouth. Lots of love.